Today we are gonna explore some of the most creepiest places on Earth. Without further ado, let's start with the Suicide Forest in Japan. At the foot of Mount Fuji lies the world's most haunted forest, which looks creepy enough before finding out more than 100 people commit suicide here every year. Sometimes this forest is referred to as the most popular site for suicide in Japan. In 2003, 105 bodies were found in the forest, exceeding the previous record of 78 in 2002. In 2010, the police recorded more than 200 people having attempted suicide in the forest, of whom 54 completed. According to recorded history, Aokigahara was where monks would go to starve themselves to death. Japanese folklore tells us that the ghosts of those who have committed suicide just wander in the forest. Mythology says it is the home of the Urei, the Japanese ghosts. Make sure you time your visit after the annual body sweep, which apparently is an actual thing. There isn't a city on the planet that loves a ghost tour as much as the Scottish capital, with dozens of guides stepping you through the terrifying torture tales of Edinburgh Castle, body snatcher-proof graveyards, and spine-chilling underground vaults. Edinburgh is notorious for its unsavory past and has been called the most haunted city in all of Europe. Scotland's capital since 1437, it has a history rife with ghouls, ghosts, and poltergeists. One of the castle's most popular spooky tales is the one of the headless drummer boy. His identity is unknown and he only makes an appearance when the castle is under threat. First spotted in 1650 when Oliver Cromwell attacked the castle, the ghost is said to be wandering the grounds. Another of the castle's famous ghosts is the one of the Lone Piper. In this story, the piper was lost in the underground tunnels beneath the castle. He played his bagpipes so that people could track him from above, but sadly he never returned. Still today, you may hear his pipe music in the castle as he endlessly walks along the underground tunnels. The Catacombs of Paris. Paris is known as the City of Lights, but not a lot of sun finds its way into this subterranean cemetery of more than 6 million people, whose bones are scattered around a claustrophobic network of tunnels. The catacombs beneath Paris were originally dug-out quarries where limestone was mined centuries before. Though part of the tunnels now houses the municipal ossuary, it's not a far stretch to think some of the tunnels might be filled with water. Louis-Étienne Héricard de Thury directed his team to stack femurs and skulls to form walls that essentially created an art museum of death below the streets of Paris. 17th century Paris was a bustling metropolis and the largest city in Europe. It was a time of great invention, expansion, and imagination. Since Paris wasn't a young city, its cemeteries were overcrowded, so much so that bodies were often easily unearthed. Residents in certain neighborhoods, like those nearby Les Innocents, the oldest cemetery in the city, would complain of overwhelming odors of decomposing bodies. This caused major health problems for the living citizens and ultimately required bodies to be moved from the cemeteries. The challenge was where? Quarries run beneath the city of Paris, mined for limestone which was used to build the city above. Paris authorities decided on using the Thomassoir quarries that, at the time, ran just outside of the city and that had been out of use since the 15th century. Once this was decided, over 6 million remains were moved into the catacombs. The Paris catacombs are not safe to explore for the solo traveler. There have been instances of people getting lost inside the underground tunnels. Thanks for watching everyone. If you liked today's video, give me a thumbs up and follow for part 2. I would love to know if anyone ever visited any of these places.